Hi guys, this is Havi the Goat speaking. Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. Yes guys, it has been a long time guys without talking to you. But today guys, we're having something new, something special. So what I want us to do actually is to actually dive in deeper into the markets and actually check what the markets are holding for us for this coming week. This is actually one of those weeks that you can be able to capitalize from the market. However, you can also be trading cautious and actually look into the markets because this coming week is NFP week. So with NFP week, you know that the price is going to actually make a lot of manipulations and there is going to be a lot of volatility in the markets that is going to affect us along the run. So with you trading through the NFP week, you need to make sure that you trade with caution and you apply proper risk management, because it's possible that the market can also manipulate your trades due to fundamental effects. So without any waste of time guys, today let us look into what this coming week is holding for us. So without any waste of time, let us dive into deep. Today I'm going to be analyzing for you 4 pairs, right? I'm going to be analyzing for you 4 pairs. I'm going to be analyzing EURUSD, GBPUSD, DXY, and a bonus of GER30. So in front of me here guys, I'm having EURUSD from a weekly perspective. The reason why I'm looking at the markets from a weekly perspective is to get a whole lot of movement of what the market could actually bring for the next coming weeks and days. So with me here, as you all know, that we start from analyzing the market from a weekly perspective, and I mark my lowest low. This is my line chart. The reason why I'm going to my line chart is because I'm looking to cater for strongest point. However, I'm catering for my floor and a ceiling, right? So I'm going to be looking at the markets from a floor and a ceiling with a weekly perspective. So with this kind of manner, I can be able to see that the market is been having a trend. The market is having a trend. Then this trend can actually go it has been going for some time towards to the downside. So what we need to do is to actually cater for most touches when we analyze from a weekly perspective, right? So if you can actually look at the markets from a weekly perspective, you can clearly see that EURUSD is actually painting a picture that it has been going for some time to the downside, and possibilities are that price can actually trigger itself and trickle until to the downside here and give us our first, second and third touch from here and actually go further to the upside, right? So now we need to look at this in both ways, right? We need to look at it in both ways, because where the EURUSD is currently at right now, price is actually giving us in a form of a reversal. So the market is giving us some sort of a reversal. However, this is because like we are in the middle of a downtrend. We are in the middle of a downtrend, right? So now when you dive in deeper, you can actually look at the market and say to yourself that I'm having EURUSD being here at my floor, which is the mid zone that is currently here, right? The market is currently here in this mid zone. So now we can actually look into the market only if the market can actually say to us it's going printing something different to actually convince us that it's going to buy forever and actually break here and go to the upside, right? there is still that possibility. However, the major key level that we are having, it's here, which means the market can actually easily break below here and actually come trickle to the downside and actually go and start giving us a reversal pattern to actually push price to the upside. Now let us go to our daily time frame. That is where we're going to look at the market on what is currently happening, because price is actually printing something different from what we see. However, let us cater for the touches, since well we can see that we have many touches on the lower high. So now if you can actually come to the market, the nearest market price, you can clearly see that on this floor the market has been bouncing to this floor, yes. However, there is something different that I'm quite seeing here, guys. There is something different that I'm quite seeing, which now tells us that the market, it's kind of like giving us a hope that it's going to push further to the upside. Reason being, it's that I'm going to show you something with the DXY. So now what I'm having right here in front of me, it's price behavior of Eurusd from a daily time frame, right? And what we have here, we've been having a series of impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, and a correction, but in a form of correction. This form of correction is actually a double bottom with regards to the triple bottom that is currently here. However, now what I need us to look and paint our attention to, it is the current market price, which is here, right? So the current market price is actually showing us something. We've been having a beautiful downtrend to the downside, but you can actually look into the markets from a different perspective. Just check something here. We have been having a touches and like some sort of like a continuation flag right here. We have been having some sort of like a continuation flag from here, and the psychology behind this continuation flag is that it has been going to the downside, where else it convinces people that it's going to buy for longer time. So if you clearly look here, the market you can see that the market was painting some sort of something different, right? We were expecting for price to actually give us when the market was here, before all of this movement could form, the market when was here, you could clearly say to yourself, we're having a first, second, and we were clearly now anticipating for a third touch right here. However, how price is moving, price moves in a different way. And this can actually cater for most of the movement that is happening in the market. So now check here the psychology behind this movement right here. It is that price was now failing to break above here and give us our third touch before it can go to the downside, right? So this was now EURUSD confirming to us that I'm going to move with a double top that I'm having here. I'm having a double top right here. Now when you check something like this with the movement failing to give us our third touch, as you all know that the third touch is the most touch that can actually be high probability. So now check here, the market from that point sold off drastically. The market sold off and gave us continuation flags and went to the downside and actually came back again and gave us a double bottom. Now I want you to pay attention. Guys. The market here, it's actually now saying to us, I'm painting the very same thing here, because if you check, there was a double bottom that was formed. So the market gave us a first and second double bottom, so it acted as a fake out when it was here, right? So now if you check here, tell me if there is not, is there something different, né? Tell me if there is not something different from what I'm about to show you guys. So this is what I have encountered and checked the market when I went deeper, and look at price behavior from a daily time frame. This is what I saw. I saw the market giving us the very same picture again. The market paints a picture to you that we are going to buy long term. However, this is more like giving us a long rope to hang ourselves, right? Now I want you to see something. This current market price, we have a touch, and possibly a touch could occur here, right? So now the market is actually giving us some sort of something different from here, right? So at this particular moment, I'm anticipating price to actually respect this price here, this point here, based on the fact that before it has respected it, right? So I'll be having 1, 2, 3 touches. So I'm expecting the market to actually come here and give us our touch, or break above, give us a spike touch, then sell off again to actually cater for the touch on smaller time frames. So look here guys, I'm looking for the market to actually give me some sort of like those buys that we need, either here or here, and come back and give us our correction, then sell off. The reason why I'm saying that, if you look at the markets from a bigger perspective, I'm looking for a sell off that price could actually arrive to this particular movement and actually trickle to give us our third touch from this low and start now to correct, to push the market to the upside, right? Because other than that guys, from a weekly perspective, if you check EURUSD, you can see that now the market is now painting to us that we are going to actually buy, where else we are having a strong zone that we can actually have here, right? So we are having a strong zone that we are actually having here, which now can clearly tell us that the market can possibly come to this low here and give us our first touch from a weekly perspective, second touch from here, and a third possibly big touch, right, before we can actually move towards to the upside. So let us look into the DXY. The DXY will either confirm to us if we are wrong or right, because if we're expecting sales from the EURUSD, this means we are expecting more buys on the DXY. So let us move into the DXY and check what the price movement of DXY is saying to us, right? So without any waste of time, this is our DXY. This is our DXY. So now if you can check carefully from a DXY, from what the DXY is saying to us, you can simply see that we have a beautiful movement of price now looking to actually gain strength due to what has been happening. So I'm starting from the monthly time frame to give you a further price outlook on the bigger structure, right? So now if you check here guys, we are having many significant highs and lows. We are having this nearest low, we are having this low, this high right here, we are having this high right there. So let us go to the line chart and check for indicator for this high right there. So we are having multiple 1, 2, 3 highs and lows, right? So on these beautiful highs and lows, I want us to pay attention to the nearest high right here. This is what we're going to look into the markets with, because I came to see something here, guys. I came to see how the price movement of the DXY is moving, right? The price movement of the DXY is actually looking so beautiful, because what is currently happening in the US is actually having to gain strength like never before. Like now we are having those inflation rates, we are having those things that affect the DXY in a positive way. So check here, guys, from a monthly time frame, we've been having a beautiful uptrending structure. We've been having a beautiful uptrending structure that the market has been going with, right? We have been having this beautiful uptrending structure from the monthly time frame. So however, this is something that we can actually take note of. The market has been going with highs and lows until to the upside right there. So I want us to pay attention to what? To this current movement right here. So I'm looking for the market to actually buy further up. The reason why I'm saying that is because I've been having a beautiful strong push to the upside, which led to actually give me a strong zone here before I can say we were looking for buying opportunities. So on the DXY, since price broke above this structure here, we had this double bottom on our zone, which now led the price to push to the upside. And now when you check carefully here, I want us to pay attention to the current market price. The current market price, when we dive in deeper from to a weekly time frame, you can simply see that now when we do something like this, when we cater for this high here, we were anticipating the market to actually sell off. But now when we look at things fundamentally and technically, things are now getting heated. When we check here, guys, the market has already broken this structure. And I want us to pay attention of something here, this part here. So I want us to pay attention to that current part. Now, since we know that the market has broken out of this structure, which is which, we can look at this current structure and cater for this low. Right? We are catering for this low, which is now a different perspective to what we see, right? We see something different from us, and we can actually cater for the movement of this candle where it has actually started, right? I want us to pay attention to that. So if you simply see, you can see that price has already broke out with an impulse and retested from the previous weeks. We had an impulse and a break and retest, so we are still looking for further push to the upside. Possibilities are still there for the market to actually build up momentum to push until those levels right there. Because why? You remember that we're still having a beautiful touch that we anticipate the DXY to arrive at. We are having this one and we are having this one. So these are the two zones that we are looking for the market to actually reach. Because why? This is something quite different. When we check here, guys, we are having a break of structure from a weekly perspective. We are having a break of structure, which is now, when we dive in deeper to the daily time frame, it's going to be more visible. Check here, guys. We had a beautiful impulse from here, correction, and we are looking for further buys, right? We are looking for further buys. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? The minute price broke out of this structure here, it indicated to us that we are now in a way of going to the upside, right? So check on the 4-hour where the structure is going to be more clearer and clearer. The market is going to be more clear and clear. So check here. We had this beautiful movement of price now giving us a beautiful continuation pennant. You know, patterns play a big role in the market. So we had this beautiful bullish pennant that we have here, which now the market actually respected the most, because you can see that we have this impulse and a bullish pennant. Price squeezed itself inside this bullish pennant and broke out of here. Price broke out of here. Price broke out of here, guys. The price broke out of here, and now we came back to retest this overall structure, which is now price looking for further push to the upside. When we look into something like this, we are looking for further push to the upside on the DXY, which is now a valid reason to us to can say that Euro USD is going to sell furthermore, because Euro USD is inversely correlated to the DXY. When the DXY go up, the Euro USD go down. So you can simply see that we have this beautiful impulse correction. We are looking for further correction and impulses until this level right here, or for the market to actually come back. Either it's going to turn here and sell, or it's going to actually come and test this high right here. There are those two possibilities, because now when we look at the bigger structure, we are going to have an idea. We are going to have an idea that either the market is going to turn from here or here. Possibilities are we are going to see price actually respecting this one right here, right? That's where we're expecting the market to actually reverse, based on the fact that we are going to see if we are going to get a head and shoulders or a double top, right? Those are the two patterns that we are expecting for price to print when it gets to these levels right there. So basically, guys, for me, I believe that Euro USD and DXY are inversely correlated, and the DXY, I believe, is going to gain strength for the next coming weeks and days, right? So possibly for a few weeks we are going to expect the bullishness of the DXY, since we are having a bullish structure. So this bullish structure is not complete. It was going to be complete if the market was respecting it under below this zone right here. However, we still have a room for price to push and come to this high right there and actually sell off after that. So this is the anticipation movement of the DXY. So when you check how the movement of the Euro USD is going to move, kindly check also the DXY, because I normally trade the DXY, I mean the Euro USD, based on the fact that I see what is happening on our DXY. So without any waste of time, let us go to GBP USD. GBP USD. GBP USD, it's more like something that is going with the DXY. Reason why I'm saying that, you can see that GBPUSD, it's USD quoted. So when you are looking at something that is USD quoted, if USD is gaining strength, we are looking for further push to the downside, based on the fact that the USD will be gaining strength, which is going to be the quoted, and now we are going to be looking at the market from a selling perspective, right? Yes, we are looking for the market to give us those sells. So now let us look into the GBPUSD, right? From a GBPUSD perspective, if you cater for your monthly high and you cater for your low, monthly low, right? Your monthly low, which is this one right there, right? So now check something here, guys. Check something here. We have been having a beautiful movement of price, which we had an impulse and a correction, impulse, and the market has been actually correcting. So we can actually have a psychology effect that price could come and fill up the gaps, right? Check something, guys. The market always fills up this particular spikes. The market always fills up these particular spikes. Reason why I'm saying that is that the market always comes to close these spikes. So possibilities are the GBPUSD can come to this low and fill up this low and then go back up. However, it can get people into the wrong side of the market and say, I'm still going down, where else they know that we are actually coming back into the trend and actually give you guys a beautiful perspective of price movement shooting to the upside, right? That is how the GBPUSD can actually play out, because coming to see how the market has been going, this is actually something that tells us that the market was getting people in the wrong side of it since it was buying so hard. So now the intention was to buy before, right? The intention was to buy before. People thought, okay, sharp, we're having a double bottom, price comes back again to give us those double, triple bottom before it actually shoots to the upside, right? So now we had this beautiful movement here. Now the market enticed people that they are going further down. However, they spiked to the upside and closed and gave us those beautiful correction and shot to the upside for the next coming months, right? This is the same behavior that we can actually look into when we look at GBPUSD, that whatsoever that is happening right here, we can have a strong sell-off and a pin bar that could actually close above here and give us those beautiful correction and a buy after that. Because why? The impulse move, it's still strong. The impulse move, it's still strong for GBPUSD. So from here, guys, you can now say to yourself that, let me go to the line chart to see my points correctly. So from this perspective, I can say I'm going to cater for this low and this low and this low. You can simply see that the market was getting people in to the wrong side of it on this perspective here. The market was getting people in the wrong side of it from this perspective. So we are still looking for more selling opportunities here until it goes up, right? So now when we go to our weekly time frame, our weekly time frame tells us something different, right? Something different, which is something that we can actually take note of. We can actually take note of something that we are looking at right now in front of our eyes. Let us cater for most our highs and lows. So if you check here, guys, if you check GBPUSD from this perspective, guys, it's that we have already broken this low right here. We have broken this low right here, which is now when we give our attention to the nearest price here, we are saying let us look into what GBPUSD is saying to us. Because if you check carefully, we have been having a strong sell-off from this perspective. We've been having a strong channel here, which is something that we can actually look into again. Can have this beautiful movement right here, and when we check from our perspective, from this perspective, guys, we can simply see that the market has been respecting GBPUSD. So the market has been respecting our GBPUSD trend. The market was looking to actually give us those beautiful continuation flags, right? The market was giving us continuation flags from this perspective here, and the market was giving us some sort of like impulse, correction, and impulse. We are having an impulse here, we are having a correction, an impulse, and now the market has broken out of the structure below, right? We have broken the structure below our weekly low, which simply means that we are anticipating for the market to actually tell us that we are going to the downside. We are still having more momentum to the downside. We are still having more momentum to the downside based on the fact that if you check here, guys, if you check what is happening right now, we are having a beautiful continuation flag here, continuation pennant here, guys. We are having a beautiful continuation pennant inside our trend. Patterns play a big role in the market. So if you simply see here, guys, we are having a beautiful impulse and a bearish pennant. We are having an impulse and a bearish pennant, and a break of our bearish pennant here simply indicated to us that we are now in a retest based on the fact that we are having this low right here that is going to be tested. And again, we can simply now say that the market can reverse from that point based on the fact that we are having this beautiful zone here. Which can now be our indication that the market was retesting the beautiful zone here, and we are still having more momentum to push from this level to the downside. So our low that we can actually anticipate the market to arrive, it's this one, based on the fact that our trend is actually going to be extended, and actually look into it from this perspective, right? We are going to be looking at this trend based on this perspective and say to ourselves, if we are now going to have this touch right here, we are now saying that we can anticipate a touch here, and the market now to start buying from here to give us those buys, right? So this is more like something that is more similar to Eurusd and DXY. So with this, guys, you can simply see that the market is quite simple when you backtest from a bigger structure and now looking to take your entries from a smaller time frame. So the reason now I'm going to be now checking the stocks. I'm going to check the stock, which is the GER30. And on the GER30, we are going to start from a bigger time frame. So now, guys, I want you to pay attention on stocks. The reason why I'm doing a stock and I'm doing the DXY, it is because we came to realize that DXY, when it gains strength, stocks now fall based on the fact that companies are no longer performing well. There is limited money that people are going to use based on the fact that there is too much inflation happening in these countries, right? So when we check the DAX, from a weekly perspective, the DAX is actually painting something different to us, right? We are having a beautiful movement of price happening on the DAX, right? Reason we can see that the DAX also paints something to us, right? Based on the fact that the DXY is gaining strength. And when there is too much demand of the dollar and there is too much of price of the dollar gaining, more of other countries and other companies are going to suffer, right? So now we are still looking to check what the DXY, I mean the GER30 it's doing, right? So let us quickly dive in deeper onto the on the DAX, right? This is my weekly time frame. My weekly time frame, I have already catered for my high and low. Now this is my playground that I have set in front of me. So with this highs and low that I have stated, we can simply see that we are having a candlestick formation that has occurred before here, right? And this candlestick formation here, guys, it was a railroad track, which means the price movement was now indicating a change of direction for movement of the market to gain strength. And this particular DAX was gaining strength from that particular time. So let us simply look at when was the market gaining strength. You can see that the market was gaining strength by 2 November 2020. That is when we experienced more buys on that week, right? So with this, you can say that we are still having to see what the DAX is having. So from this weekly perspective, I'm having some sort of like the market printing a pattern. You must also look into what the current market price, this price. We are going to focus on that. So this is now the market indicating to us that we are having some sort of like a pattern, right? This pattern, it's more like the market was indicating to us that we are going to the downside, right? When you check here, guys, we had this impulse move, which was here. We had this impulse move which was here. We had this impulse move and price squeezing itself inside the bearish pennant. Right now the market broke and retested and gave us now our selling candles, which is now something that we can now target the strongest lows for the coming week, which is now the DAX is going to actually fall even further to now saying to us we are kind of like crashing, but not crashing as such, but we are crashing. So because of we are having this beautiful impulse, a squeezing pennant here, we are still looking for further down to this particular low of 2020. So from that point in time, that's where we can still say we can look for reversals to actually push price to the upside, because by that time the market could have now hit the lowest of the low, right? Because there is no way that price can actually come to this low. There is no way. We are now targeting the nearest low, which is this one, because now when we check into deeper, we can simply see that the market has actually broken out of this beautiful channel right here. The market has actually broken out of this low and this low, it's some sort of like a confirmation to us that we have retested this low. We have retested this low, right? We have retested this low, and when you check here, there is now a continuation flag, a continuation pattern, right? The market is actually printing us a continuation pattern. This is more like a pattern to us that the market has given us our impulse continuation flag. We are retesting below it, and we're still going to look for further push to the downside, still having to look at pushes to the downside. However, for us to can say we can look for more sells, we can target this low right here. We can target this low right here, but we are selling. The overall direction here is selling opportunities, because after we break here, we can now confirm to ourselves that we can still now target this low before we can now have the market to tackle and give us those buying opportunities. So without any waste of time, guys, we can simply see that the DXY, it's actually affecting the stock market. The DXY is affecting the stock market because more people, they fail to buy things, because when the stock goes up, this means that there is more demand into these stocks. People are now buying, because now inflation, it's more like people failing to buy and afford a lot of things, based on the fact that now many things are expensive, right? Many things are expensive. And when we check here, guys, you can simply see that if I can remove this, you can simply see that if you have a beautiful eye to look into things way deeper, you can simply see that our structure has broken the low. We have this first, second, and now the market, it's below this beautiful structure. The market is actually below this beautiful structure here. Hence I'm saying we have retested below here. So when we go to the 1 hour, let us look into this candle, what this candle is actually telling us. What this candle is actually telling us. So let us go deeper and check, right? You can simply see that with this candle, we are having a correction. We are having a correction, guys. The market hasn't been clear to us. We are having a correction that the market has printed towards us, right? We are having a correction that now from these levels we can say we can have some few touches. Now the market can now easily play out to sell, because from this perspective I'm looking for more selling opportunities from this structure. I'm looking for more selling opportunities to actually arrive here. So from me, guys, this is Harvey the Goat speaking. These are the pairs that I'm actually going to look into capitalizing from them, as the market will be playing out tomorrow when the market opens. So without any waste of time, guys, this is Harvey the Goat speaking. Do catch me again next week, where I'm going to be looking at the markets again and checking what it's going to be happening, and we are going to be reviewing of how the trades we took are going to be playing out. Or now from that point, that's where we can say we are progressing. So without any waste of time, guys, from my side, guys, do have a wonderful trading week. Do have a wonderful week and a blessing day. So from me, Harvey the Goat, signing out.